guys, it's Sadie and welcome to another vlog. It is Thursday. What date is it? Thursday the 15th, I think. Let me double check. Yes. So it is Thursday the 15th of December and me and Scarlett got chosen for a booking down in northern New South Wales. It's almost 4 hours away, but it's still classed as northern New South Wales because it's not really like Sydney, is it? Oh my god, that's cold. I'm gonna have to reheat that. So we got chosen for a booking. I don't normally apply for bookings in New South Wales, but in a Queensland group, and they obviously usually post in Queensland groups if there's not enough options in New South Wales for the guys to choose from, or the person organising it might be from Queensland and she's not in any of the New South Wales groups or doesn't know anyone that will want to travel down there. So I put myself forward because I've driven to Coffs Harbour before. It is almost a 4-hour drive for me from where I live, but it's okay. I always charge travel. So for this particular job, I've charged $300 travel. So for this particular job, sorry, that's just the microwave going in the background. I've charged $300 travel per, like, each of us, and I put both me and Scarlett forward as available because at the time the booking got announced quite a while ago. It was like over a month or 2 months ago, and I asked her if she was available, and I was like, yeah, like, let's do a road trip. It'll be so fun. So we're basically gonna go down there today and work. It's a Christmas party. It's in a function room at a popular hotel. There's quite a few hotels down there, but yeah, I know this one's popular because when I used to work down there, I used to go down there for 2 days and work at the pubs, and all the locals used to go to this other hotel for drinks afterwards. They purely just went to the one that I was working at just because there was titty girls. But yeah, oh, I think that's hot enough. Yes, I need the coffee. I have been up since 6:30, but I really needed to sleep in, so I went back to sleep. I stayed up really late last night. Oh, here we go. She's just filling us in on all the details. So the agent agreed to get us the travel money each, and I said 100% need to know that it's each and not like just for one person, just because we're driving down together. Otherwise it's not really feasible for us because we could be just working on the Gold Coast and making that same amount of money. But she pulled through, got us the travel, and now we're doing 5 hours topless, and we've got $300 travel, so it's a good amount, as you can imagine, which is feasible for us, and it's a Thursday night, and I don't normally work Thursdays. Yeah, I put my hair in braids last night because I started with the crimpy thing and my arm was just getting too tired and I could not be fooled. So yeah, I don't know, I think it looks pretty good if I put my hair back here. Once I have my makeup done, looks all nice and wavy, something different to straight. I just didn't want my toner scenario to stick out like dog's balls. So yeah, I'm gonna start on my makeup. I've been talking way too long already, so I'm gonna start doing that, finish this coffee, and I'll catch up with you guys when I'm on my way to get Scarlett. Hey guys, so we just pulled in at the servo just over the border in New South Wales. Scarlett just wanted to run in and quickly grab some snacky snacks, but we are going good for time, thank goodness. I think it says where our ETA is. Oh yeah, it says we'll get there at 10 minutes too, so that's good. We've got everything down pat, and without even asking her, we somehow sort of arranged a similar outfit, so that's kind of cool. A little bit of matchy. Should be good. I'm really excited. I hope we make lots of money. So far it's looking like it'll be almost $1,000 booking, so fingers crossed it goes really well. But at the end of the day, I'm really grateful because it is a Thursday booking and I don't get Thursday bookings regularly. Normally we get bookings like maybe Friday, Saturday. Thursday is just not one of those days. But yeah, this is my hair in the natural light. It is kind of silvery, but some bits are still, I don't know why I thought they looked brown, like darker, but they don't. I was just tripping. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you guys an update. We've got 2 hours and 51 minutes remaining in the car ride. We've already had lots of singing and karaoke, which is really fun. Yeah, I'll catch up with you guys when we're on the road. Hello.
I am also vlogging.
I was just letting them know that we got to the servo.
In my I'm on a mission today to annoy Sadie while she's driving. So I have some things that I brought along with me, but I've also just found this beautiful karaoke microphone.
I thought she bought a speaker. I was like, what the hell is that?
So let's
the things you get from the servo.
I'm now going to tell the other people.
I didn't even know you could buy them here. What else did you get? Chips.
A mount, some chippies.
A mount. Oh, do you want to try and mount it now?
Yeah.
Do you want to?
I'd love to do some mounting.
I can't.
I can't open things with my left hand anymore because I have rad musician hands and I can't feel my fingertips.
Okay, we'll update you guys. Well,
really bad for threesomes.
What?
I got no feeling in my fingers. I can't tell what I'm doing. I'm just gonna shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
No, keep going. Still trying to work out this walk and talk. Tick on me.
Yeah, look, I've overlapped it with my existing thing. That's probably going to make it really difficult in future. Yay!
Yay! We did it, we did it.
Me.
We did it!
I am now mounted.
You are very mounty.
I am now mounted. I am mounted.
You're mounty.
Mounty.
Mounty. I like it.
Hello. Hi.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
I'm literally leaning you guys on a dildo box that a member sent me in the mail. So I apologize for sexualizing you right now. Just having the best coffee ever. It is 10:42 the next day. I think I only filmed like a little bit of the clips of when we got to the hotel. So I feel like I want to like paint a picture for you guys. Me and Scarlett arrived at the hotel. We got a park straight away out front. We got there literally dead on time. And we walked up the set of stairs to the function room, where the girl that was, why is this lighting so cruddy? There we go. Yeah, so the girl who organized it was waiting there for us, and there was like about 30 tradies all in the same room in a function area of this hotel. And yeah, we just like, as soon as we came in, we were like, hey, you know, and they were all so quiet, and it was really like really random and quiet, and we're like, oh, that's a bit, you know, but like sometimes that can mean like they just haven't had a few drinks yet, or yeah, they're just like literally starting the day. So yeah, we did that. The manager took us into the back room and said, this is where you guys can leave your bags. This is where you're getting ready. I'll go get the girl that's organizing you. And I was just like, just where's your toilet? Like, show me the toilet, because I stupidly did not stop and go to the toilet halfway on the ride. And I was busting, like I was freaking busting. Like I swear there were so many times where Scarlett was playing with her recorder and singing into that damn microphone, which was hilarious by the way, but there was just too many times where I was laughing at her and I thought I was gonna wee. I thought I was gonna wee myself so many times. And I raced to the toilet and I was like, oh, just made it in time. And it was the longest wee I've ever done in my life. Oh, it's like, if anyone can relate, like seriously, best feeling in the world, just going to the toilet after a 3.5 hour drive. So the girl came in, she introduced herself. I was like, oh my God, it's so nice to finally put a face to like a name, because we've been chatting in a chat group for the last 2 months, and when she was organizing it all, but she hadn't actually met me or Scarlett. So she was just organizing it for the guys. It turned out she was a local, and 2 of the other girls were, well, one of them was local, one of them lived in northern New South Wales, so like more like up Tweed, like Byron area. or more like Byron area, not really cost. So yeah, like I feel like she kind of had a head start on us as well even. So we were the only two from the Gold Coast, and we're like, wow, like, you know, they must have really wanted us if they paid travel for us to go down there, so that's good. So yeah, we got there, she gave us the money plus the travel, which was great. I was a bit nervous about that because I hadn't worked for her before. So she just explained to us, we sort of like all set our pricing and our rules with each other. Everyone was on the same page. We discussed lap dances because there was a back room and like a bed and a couch area sort of thing that we could take guys to if we wanted to do a lap dance. But me and Scarlett kind of looked at each other and we're like, like it was just felt a bit weird because it was but we agreed on motorboat prices. And so yeah, that was a thing. Like we were just going to try and push to upgrade to nude, extend, and get lots of motorboats because there was a lot of guys there, so we saw opportunity. So yeah, the first round we pretty much just went round to everyone checking if they want drinks. Everyone had different colored wristbands on because they were from 3 different building companies, and each building company had a different tab on the bar. So some were only allowed beers or whatever was on tap. So there was Canadian Club and like I think ginger beer on tap, and then some companies were only allowed just beers, and some companies were allowed basic spirits as well outside of that. So yeah, or some were allowed cocktails even. So it just depended on their personal company's budget. They all had different wristbands on. And yeah, we were just going around and chatting to everyone, being silly, like shaking our tits and stuff, jumping around. Legit, like it was just so hilarious. Like just, I'm so glad I went down with Scarlett because she was just a ray of sunshine. And the guys were just like so dry when we got there. Like they were very like, you know, not standoffish, but like they were all a lot sober, and I'm a lot more sober when we got there, and just like less personality. And so we were just this loud duo just coming in going, hey, like, oh, I'm Scarlett, she's Sadie, like la 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 la, you know. And we were just like, yeah, like we're from the Gold Coast, and like we like doing this and that, and like we'll have 4 driving and shit like that, and yeah, and all this stuff. And just the guys loved it. I feel like they ate it up. There was 2 other girls there as well, so the one that organized it and then the one who came down from northern New South Wales. So they were kind of just doing their own hustle, but I felt like we kind of stuck together most of the time, and then we'd split up every now and again and get drinks and have like independent conversations with lots of people, which I love that we can do, because I feel like we both have enough years under our belts. I think she's got over 10 years as well in the industry. So I felt like it was really great, like that we could just split up and do our own work. But when it came to motorboats, we were both like kind of hustling for each other. So like if guys would be like, oh, how much to get a motorboat? Like I really just pushed and pulled teeth to get that first motorboat going. But once the guys all saw us doing it to one guy, like we were like, get down on your knees, and we made like a full spectacle out of it, and everyone would turn around, and we like 2 of us gave this one guy motorboat together, like kind of like just hugging his face, and we're hugging each other and then going like that, yeah, for like a good 20 seconds or something. Like as soon as we did the one, other guys were seeing it and going, I want one of those too, or I want to buy one for this guy over here, you know. And it was just a fun thing. But yeah, we weren't just getting them done for ourselves. Like I feel like every time someone asked me how much it was, I'd be like, oh, it's this much, but if you pay this much, you can have both of us, you know, or you can pay for one for you and your friend. And yeah, like we were just really just trying to hustle for each other because we drove all the way down there together as a team. And I felt like, yeah, it was just so much more fun when both of us were making money, like not just one of us. I can easily hustle for myself by myself. And a lot of the guys, I think 3 or 4 of them were like, I just want one from you. And I was like, great, why don't you pay me this much and then pick a friend to do it with you so me and Scarlett can do it together? And like they were like, okay, like literally it was no drama. And because I worded it in a way, like I was like, it's this much for one, or if you get 2, it's only this much. So I made it like a deal. And in the end, towards the end, after we towards the end of the booking, we almost had like a group of guys like lining up to get motorboats. And there was this cute little booth area in the bar that said the friend zone in neon lights, and we were like, we're taking you to the friend zone, get in the chair. And he was like, ooh, like the friend zone. And it was just hilarious. And some guys were just tipping us. They were like, here's 100. And we were like, whoa, like, you know, and they'd be like, okay, like tip yourself this much, you know, take a little bit extra. And we were like, oh, that's so nice. So it was good. Like towards the end, we were almost making like just a little, like a couple more dollars on top of what we originally suggested. So that was great. All of us did try to upgrade to nude, but the guy who organized most of everything did say to me, what would you rather? Would you rather upgrade to nude, or would you like to stay 2 more hours? And even though it wasn't that much more to stay and like 2 more hours, I was thinking of the other girls, and I was like, you know, I'm not going to be selfish and say let's upgrade to nude if they want the extra dollars to go like 2 more hours, because when you upgrade to nude on the last hour, it's a certain amount. And like if we extended for the extra 2 hours, we literally only got maybe like $50 more for 2 whole hours of work. So the only person benefiting that was the client. Yeah, like we all asked each other, we all sat in the back room like, okay, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to upgrade or do you want to extend? And yeah, literally everyone voted extend. I think purely because if we extend, there's more opportunity to try and upgrade or get a lap dance or motorboat. So I see their point of view there. And I'm glad that we did do that, because I feel like the majority of our motorboats actually ended up happening in the last half an hour of our booking. So if we didn't extend, we wouldn't have made that money. So yeah, we extended the 2 hours, but as the 2 hours passed, some of the guys were getting drunker and drunker, and the bar staff said to us, if they're wearing this colored wristband, they need to come see us at the bar and get their own drink. So basically they just wanted to like assess the client whether he was fit to have a drink or not. We couldn't just go get people drinks anymore because they were sitting down and they couldn't tell whether they could walk or not. Some guys were getting so drunk, they were like, you would talk to them and they were like spitting, like spluttering their words, couldn't even like stand up straight. So completely understand their point of view on that. They've got an RSA to uphold, so, and that's their duty. So yeah, we were just doing our best, and towards the end I feel like the group really did filter down to maybe like 20 something. Like I reckon around a good 10 to 15 guys had to go because they were too drunk, or they just cut off their own self. Like they were just like, nah, I've got to go home, I'm too drunk, which was good, because yeah, we don't want to deal with that either. I feel like this is a good amount of money for a Thursday. I just want to make that clear. I've had bookings where I've made this amount of money in like 3 hours or 4 hours, probably less, like because I was able to do lap dances or upgrade to nude. But considering the environment we were in a public venue. I'm pretty sure that back room that we were, you know, putting all our stuff in and working from, I'm pretty sure that was the manager's, like he lived there. And I'm pretty sure, I don't think I could have made this amount of money on like a weeknight any other time of the year. So I feel really grateful for getting this amount, and I'm really grateful that we sold as many motorboats as we did, because the guys seemed to love it and it was just easy. It was drain free. Sometimes you can do a lot of lap dances and make a lot of money, but it's very draining. It's with the wrong person, it can be very tiring and draining, and it's a lot of like guys pushing boundaries and you pushing back saying no, and yeah, it's very tiring. So for a Thursday, I worked from 2 till 9 p.m. Queensland time. What's that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 7 hours. I drove 3.5 hours there and back with my best friend. We had a fucking blast though, and on the way back we had some really great D&Ms which cannot be replaced. Like that time was just beautiful, and I feel like it was meant to happen. When you have a friend like that you work with, that you really enjoy like spending time with, it's really great to have those moments, and I really appreciate her as a person. So I feel like we were meant to do this booking. We had a lot of fun, we made some money, we both had a goal in mind, we both got some savings to like pump up. So with that said, for a 7-hour booking on a Thursday down in Coffs Harbour, I got 50, 100, 50, 200, 50, 300, 50, 400, 50, 500, 50, 600, 50, 700, 50, 850, 950, 1,000, 1,100, 1,150, 70, 90, 1,210, 1,230, 1,235. So I feel like, yes, we could have made more, but also I think I might have been really tired to drive back. We did really well. I feel like we both came out with almost around-ish the same amount, give or take, but we both did really well, I think. Tonight I have a booking. I'm doing 7 till 10 in Brisbane. I'm gonna be doing a poker dealing event. I'm working with a poker host, a professional poker host, so it's not like really high stress, and it's gonna be really chill and easy going. I'm doing 3 hours topless, so that'll be fun. So yes, I will catch up with you guys when I'm getting ready for my shift later, and I will see you when we're heading to work. Hey guys. I'm so frustrated. So it's 6:15 and I'm on my way to the poker dealing booking. I'm just gonna say, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure I'm working with the same poker host as last time. If you guys remember a few vlogs back, that I worked with a poker host who originally tried to kind of like control my pricing in a booking and other waitresses' pricing, and then when I pulled him up on it, I think he figured out who it was that said something to the agency about it, and then I worked with him a weekend after, and he was pretty much just like on my case from the get-go. Like, I was 4 minutes late and he was just on my about being late. And yeah, I felt like I was trying to impress him the entire booking instead of being like more like worried about impressing the clients, which is kind of annoying. I was like already not looking forward to the possibility of working with him, and now I know I'm definitely working with him for sure, because I just double checked the confirmation I sent through yesterday and it says his name in there, and I'm like, oh, my eyelash is being pretty. But yeah, for some reason I knew like the suburb that I was working in, but I must have calculated the like distance a while ago, because this booking was locked in like a couple of months ago, maybe like a month ago or two. I must have calculated the distance a while ago and just thought it was about a 45-minute drive, and it's not. Like, I just put it in the GPS now and it's an hour and 10 minutes. So now I'm definitely gonna run 20 minutes late, like 100%, and he's gonna be sitting there waiting for me again and be super pissy about it. Oh, it just looks bad. Like, once you run late for someone and they're not impressed about it, it's all that sticks in their mind is you're the girl that runs late, which is, it's so frustrating, because it's like, I literally drove to Coffs Harbour yesterday from the Gold Coast and we were bang on time. Like, how does that happen? But I'm driving to a job that's an hour away and I'm running 20 minutes late. Yeah, I can't wait to just get there. Oh my god, I totally forgot to tell you guys as well. I got my calendars in the mail. So a couple days ago, I decided to do some little Chrissy presents for my OF, but I don't know, like I might sell or hand some of these out at work as well, because I don't have my Instagram handle or my OF or anything like that on it, and that's one of the things that they say is you're not allowed to share your social media, but they just have my picture on it. So I guess like if I sell something, like it might make me more memorable, and they'll be like, hey, that waitress, you know, that gave me this or whatever. But yeah, I got some calendars printed on Vistaprint for my OF to do like end of year Christmas presents, and they had a really good sale on for Christmas, so I decided to print quite a few. And I was a bit nervous because I got so many printed, and I was like, what if some of them don't come out in like really good quality, like the resolution might be really you know, and I've just spent all that money. And yeah, they came today and I'm just like so stoked. I also got some Christmas cards done that I'm going to send out to any members that want to tip like a small amount for them, because they weren't very expensive, but I got them custom made with my photo on the front and back, some sneaky naughty photos. And Then I also got some postcards done. So I usually get the postcards printed so that if I sell anything online, some naughty garments that I've worn, it's kind of frowned upon on the platform, so I try and like disguise the wording I use as much as possible. But I used to sell them all the time, and I had some really old postcards printed out when I was camming online on My Free Cams years ago. And what I did was I'd get a sandwich lock bag. I got like a pack of 100. I think it was like $2 for a pack of 100, like from, you know, that Glad Wrap brand. And I just put the postcard in the front that had my photo on it, and it used to say something like, thank you for purchasing Sadie's secret panties, and it would be like, lots of love, Sadie. And then I'd have like a cute little note on the back, and then I'd sign it with my signature and write something personable to the subscriber that would reflect like whatever we'd been talking about in our conversations. And I used to put my panties in it and then seal it off really tight, squish all the air out. My photos for those are really old and outdated. I think I was like 10 years ago when I made those, so I don't want to be using them anymore. I think I've only got like 20 or something left, but I got a packet of 100 at the time because people were buying a lot of them when I was camming. Yeah, I got some new ones made with some really recent photos, so I'm very excited to be using those as well. It felt good to like print out like merchy stuff. So I really do feel like I'm in the groove again with my online presence. And yeah, I just realized yesterday when we went to Coughs, I was like talking to Scarlett, and I was like, oh, what are those notebooks in your bag? She was like, calendars. And I was like, oh yeah, true. And yeah, like we were talking about, like as long as we don't have like our social media names or anything like that on there, we won't really, I don't think we can get in trouble with the agencies, because that's the main concern, is that we're not supposed to be handing out social media so that they can't rebook us elsewhere. But I do want to make myself memorable, if that makes sense. Like I do want people to go, oh, like we had that girl. So I did bring a few calendars with me to work. I don't have the postcards yet or the Christmas cards, but when I do, I will be, because I've been doing a few Christmas parties lately, I will be bringing some to work to sign and like give away maybe, or I might charge like a small fee or something like that, just so it, yeah, like it makes you more memorable. Like it's kind of like a business card, but just with your face on it, and then I'll just sign it with my name, I think, just to look all cutesy so they remember who I am, but just without writing my social media on there. But yeah, if anyone else is looking to print out calendars or merch or anything like that for their OF or anything like that, or if you have a side business or anything like that, they've got a big sale on Vistaprint at the moment. I'm not sure whether it'll still be up by the time my vlog goes up, but it was up to 60% off or something like that. Like I remember when I first started out, girls used to do, like showgirls used to get them made and get just their name printed on it with like their showgirl face, and it used to say like, you can book me through, and it have like a list of all the agencies that they work for. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of coming back. Like girls are really hustling now and getting their, yeah, just getting their hustle on, and I love it. I love it. I love to see it because it's inspirational. It gets me going too. All right, well, I'm gonna go. I've got 45 minutes to go. When I get closer to the start time, I might message the poker dealer, just because I don't want to already put him in a bad mood when I'm still 45 minutes away. So yeah, I will catch up with you guys when I'm at the booking. Over and over in my room when I was living out of home. I think I was like 22, 23. Oh, it's a midnight swell on all the lonely dreamers, so we can start it over. We'll start it again. Lot of attachment for that song, but I haven't sung that song. Like I've sung the fast version like for fun heaps of times, but the slow acoustic version just gets me. Oof, just gets me. and I haven't sung it properly since I was like 23. A lot of dark attachment to that song. Oh, just love it. 36 Crazy Fists, by the way. I forgot to mention what I was listening to. I am 24 minutes away from the job. I'm about to text I'm about to text the poker dealing host. He's probably ready to fire my ass. But here we are. We're here. We're doing it. We're looking hot. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make the most of it. But yes, wish me luck. Wish me luck, guys. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Never answer to no, man, I still go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch.
Hey guys. Wait, what's happening? Oh my gosh, I need people to talk to right now. So I ended up, such a bloody ground. I didn't take the Clem 7 going to the job, and I should have taken the Clem 7. Shouldn't have been a cheap ass and just paid the tolls, because I ended up running almost pretty much half an hour late for that booking. I was so gutted. Like, I was already late. Oh, I thought the poker host was just gonna hate me, but he was fine. He was actually really nice when I got there, and he actually remembered the party game that we played last time of whipping the guys on the butt whenever they lost all their chips on the table. Like, if they went in all in with their chips and they lost, then I would whip them on the bum with a belt, just, you know, just for fun, like nothing too crazy, for like three goes on their bum. And it was really funny, and everyone really got into it, and he remembered, and he was like, Sadie, are we doing it like last time? And I was like, yes. And so yeah, he was great. He was so good. And he even, so great, I really feel like he's upped his game. Like, this is amazing. But he ended up getting us money to get lap dances out of the winning money. I thought that was really nice. And yeah, and then so I ended up dealing. The guys were great on the table. A few of them are pretty sloshed, like they were pretty drunk when we got there, but yeah, there was nothing I couldn't handle. The house was a massive mansion. I don't know who owned it, but it looked like there was a basketball court in the house. There was a swimming pool in the living room. There was about 20 cars in a carport, and then they had their own car park to the side. It was massive. I wasn't expecting to what I was going to walk into. Like, I wanted to be more like coming up the driveway, but I was just too stressed about being late. But as I was in the house and I realized how many bedrooms there was when I was doing lap dances, I was like, holy f, like, who lives here? Like, this is amazing. There was a lot of like cricket memorabilia hanging on the walls, sporting stuff. I think they said an ex-basketball player used to own it. I don't know who it owns now, who owns it now, but they didn't Airbnb it. It was a guy's birthday. It wasn't a bucks party, but his parents owned that house. So it was absolutely freaking huge, and apparently there was a tennis court out the back as well. I wish I could have stayed there longer. I kind of wish that I didn't take on this extra booking, but I was panicking about not making enough money. So I decided to take the extra booking, which was kind of silly of me because I underestimate myself when it comes to upgrades and extensions. Like, obviously, like, I did really well last night with Scarlett. Like, I don't know why I didn't think I could do really well again tonight. But yeah, these guys were cashed up. Like, they were cashed up. They were like bogan Aussie dudes, all dressed up in funny, silly suits with funny ties. Like, I think that was the theme. Like, they had to wear like a party shirt or wear like a different colored suit. And every single person was wearing a different colored suit. It was like they all went to the op shop, and it was just phenomenal. Like, it was great. I loved it. And the Aussie banter at the table was just phenomenal. One of the guys legit sounded like Chopper Read, like from the movie, not actual Chopper Read, but yeah, it was just hilarious, like the banter going back and forth. So I got my lap dance for the boy who won second prize, and then the guy who won was like, hey, do I get a lap dance? And I'm like, well, you actually won the money, so you can pay for one? And he was like, yeah, I'll get one. And then on the way to the room, he was like, oh, what sort of music are you going to play in the lap dance? And I was like, oh, what do you like? And he was like, oh, a bit of rock, a bit of metal, I like a bit of punk, screamo. And I'm like, sure. So we did, and I put on 36 Crazy Fists, and he loved it. He ended up paying for another lap dance, like literally on the spot. He ended up paying for another lap dance. Why does it feel like my weave is coming out? There's a bit of my weave like just floating around in my hair. It's just hanging there. Oh, I need to go to the hairdressers. I don't know what that's about. Hopefully no one can see it. But yeah, so he ended up paying for another lap dance within the lap dance. So that was great. So I made some money there. And then after that I went out, and he goes, points to another guy and goes, why don't you go give him a lap dance? And I was like, great. So I went up to the other guy and he was like, yep, and he paid me, and then we did a lap dance as well. And I'm like, are you a boob or a butt man? And he was like, butt. And I was like, great. So like I spent like a little bit of time like shaking the tartars in his face, but most of the time I was facing away from him, like twerking in that, which was great because I was sweating profusely. Like, it is so hot in Queensland right now. I was sweating so much. I kind of wish I didn't put gradual tanner on because, oh no, I do, like I needed it. I feel a bit pasty, but I feel like I was just sweating all the gradual tanner off because it was so moisturizing and greasy. When I sweat, it goes like to oil. I don't know what it is. Where is this booking? Oh, I'm like 10 minutes away. So yeah, I ended up making another lap dance, and then the guy goes, oh, how much longer are you here for? And I'm like, well, I've got to leave at 10:30. And he goes, okay. And he goes, what else can you do, like aside from lap dances? And I was like, well, I can upgrade to nude. And he was like, great, how much? And I was just like, this is just too easy. And I was like, yeah. And I just pulled like some notes out of his wallet, and I was like, this much. And he's just like, done. And then yeah, the other girl was like, well, I can stay longer if you want me to. And he was like, sweet, how much do you need? Like, just gave it to her on the spot. And I was like, I wish I could stay longer. Like, these guys were so cashed up. They were easygoing. I had similar tastes in music in them. We were all about the same age group. There was a swimming pool in the living room. Like, I could have gone for a swim. I'm literally kicking myself. Anyway, it is what it is. I had a great booking, and I was only there for like 3.5 hours. Like, what the hell? Yeah, I'll tell you guys the money count later, but yeah, it was a good amount within. This is what I mean when I was saying to you this morning, was that what I made in Coffs Harbour, I could have made in 3 or 4 hours, like in Brisbane or on the Gold Coast, but it was a Thursday night, and I don't normally work Thursdays. I almost made $1,000 basically at that booking in 3.5 hours. Isn't that just insane? Like the variation between like different nights. So yeah, I'm going to this other booking now. I told him I was running 15 minutes late, but they seemed pretty chill about it. I'm about 7 minutes away, and I'm there for 2 hours. So I'm going to be there from 11:15 till 1:15. So fingers crossed they're behaved. I'm kind of hoping they are, because I really don't want to end the night on a bad note. I feel like I'm on a bit of a high now because those clients were so funny and cool and just easygoing. Anyway, I'm gonna be at this booking in about 5 minutes, so I'll catch up with you guys when we get there, if I get a chance. If it's too weird and it's quiet, because it did seem quiet when he was on the phone. So I don't know, like whether it's just like a chill night and they're just having a few drinks, or it's, yeah, I don't know, because there was no music playing. Like, it didn't seem like a party kind of style environment. But yeah, that's okay. Yeah, hopefully it's not too weird. If I can't film anything and it's a bit awkward, I might just catch you guys up and fill you in later. Ooh, I gotta go. Okay, love you, bye.
Go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the...
Is that bright enough? Wait, is that bright enough, guys? Wait, is that good, guys? I feel like that's pretty good. Yeah, I reckon. I feel like that's pretty good. Okay, I'm just done a sneaky and gone to Macca's. So, I can't remember whether I updated you guys or not with that poker dealing job. but I had a really good time. I got there a little bit late, but yeah, the guys are freaking fab, and I made almost $1,000. I'll do a quick money count for you guys because it was insane. Hey guys, it's now Saturday night. My battery ran out when I was filming the money count for last night, so I apologize. I will get to it at the end of this evening, hopefully, if my battery doesn't die again or if I run out of storage. But I am just at my booking now. I'm walking up to meet the other girl. I'm so excited. I haven't seen her in a long time. We don't get to work very often, so I'm really excited. And I'm at the Gold Coast Casino, so yeah, hopefully it goes good. Hopefully these guys are a little bit loaded, because you know, who wouldn't want more money? Yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys when I get to the booking. I don't know if I'm gonna get any weird looks because I'm sitting at a service station, but no, that's too dark. Oh well, we're here. No one's gonna judge me, hopefully. So, update from last night. First booking, sensational. Wish I didn't leave it. I honestly wish I didn't take the second booking, but it was with a really nice agency that always looks after me. They're fairly reputable, and they always try and get me bookings. Like, they always push my name forward. Like, they always say, like, Sadie's reliable, she's gonna rock up on time, she's gonna do the job. Like, yeah, they always just push me forward for bookings, so I really love that. So I applied for the booking, got it, but as like I was finishing the poker dealing one, I was getting lots of money for lap dances and upgrades, and I was just, the guys were just throwing money at us, and I was wishing that I could stay longer because it was such a fun vibe. The house was incredible that we're working in. Like, there was a freaking pool in the living room, for Christ's sakes. There was a tennis court outside, there was a basketball court inside in one of the bedrooms. Well, it looked like it was a bedroom, and then you open it up and it just like opened right up to a basketball court. Like, what? Anyway, doesn't matter, is what it is. I feel like everything's meant to happen for a reason. So I went to my next booking, I got there, it was actually another really nice house. Got there and I was like, whoa, is this the right one? And I rang the client on a private number, and he was like, yep, no, that's one. And he came and got me, and I was like, oh, sweet. Maybe there is some money to be made here. So I got there, spoke to the organizer, went and got change, came out, he paid me. He had told me that they'd had 3 or 4 girls there earlier, consecutively, like one after the other. So I was the last of the evening. I started at 11, so I had to finish at 1 AM. So it was kind of late, so I'm thinking maybe they've already spent all their money on the other girls. And one of the organizers comes up to me and goes, so what do you do? And I'm like, oh, so I do lap dances for this price. I can do motorboats for this price each, or if you want to spoil one of your friends, you can just pay me a set amount, and then I'll just do like unlimited motorboats the entire time, sort of thing. They looked like the type of group that would enjoy something like that. So I was like, yeah, let's do that. And he was like, okay, we'll talk about it. Like, nothing set in stone, but he seemed keen. But he was like, we'll talk about it. And then so he talked to the group about it, and I thought he was just going to surprise them and pay me, but he didn't. Went out and spoke to the whole group about it, like, what's the general consensus? And everyone was like, oh, we'll just extend you instead. Let's just do that. And I'm like thinking, fuck, like, I'm tired. Like, I didn't want to stay longer. I just wanted to make more money within the time frame that I was there, which was 2 hours. But you know what, I'm not going to say no to an extra couple $100. So I was like, yeah, I'll stay longer. Like, do you want to organize that now? And they were like, no, we'll organize it when it comes to it. Nothing ever happened. Like, I was pulling out all my tricks. I was like bouncing my titties while talking. The guys, like, all the guys there were praising me. They were like, the girls that we had earlier, nothing on you. And I'm like, I bet you say that to all the girls. And they're like, no, seriously, like, the conversation was like dry. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, well, I don't like to compare myself to other girls because I feel like we're all fabulous. Like, we are all fucking amazing in our own right. But they were just non-stop going on about like how bubbly I was interactive with everyone, I was sitting in different parts of the group, like getting to know everyone individually, having little personal conversations with everyone. But yeah, like nothing. And I kept like hinting at going nude for the second hour, and it just was not happening. And I was like, what about a lap dance for the birthday boy? Because it was a birthday party. And they were like, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. And the organizer would be like, hey, Sadie, all right, come over here. And he was in the butler's pantry. Like, this place was that nice. There was like marble tile everywhere, Carrera kitchen bench tops. Like, it was like chef's kiss. Yet these men were like, hey, Sadie, let's have a conversation. I'm like, oh, here it is. He's gonna pull me over here and be like, yep, here's the money. Nothing came of it. He was like, so you're having a good time? And I was like, yeah. And then it just nosedived from there. Like, nothing happened. And he was like, so what do you do outside of this? Like, and he just started asking completely unrelated conversation topic starters to what I thought the conversation was going. The conversation went in a completely different direction. So I was not only sitting there thinking like, I've hustled my fucking hardest at this booking and made no tips. And I just could not stop thinking about being at the previous booking, like where the guys were literally just throwing money at us. It's a hard pill to swallow, but at the end of the day, you got to stay loyal. You got to go with the booking that you booked in earlier that day. You can't just change your mind and go, oh, well, they'll pay me more at this one, I'm just not going to show up. Like, that's just not how it goes. That's how you burn bridges really quick. Everyone talks in this industry, and if you burn one bridge, you burn them all. You might as well just set your whole career on fire. So I was like, no, I do the right thing. I'm loyal. I rock up. I do my job. I go. But yeah, the real kick in the teeth was going to the bathroom and checking my phone to see if any other bookings were coming in after that, and seeing that those guys that I worked for earlier were requesting more waitresses at that very moment that I was at a booking where they were kind of like not tipping at all. Conversation was to a bare minimum. I was really pulling teeth. In fact, I was pulling teeth so hard towards the last half an hour of the booking, 6 guys got up at once and actually caught Ubers and cabs and left. So I'm like, if I'm so bubbly, why are you all leaving? It was just, yeah, I get they might have had a big day and they drank a lot all day long and they had other girls earlier, but it kind of sucked to be like the last one there. Like, it sucked to be the last waitress rocking up and putting up with like the arse end of it, like them all pretty much nearly falling asleep on me, not tipping, not upgrading. And yeah, I was like, do you guys want me to go? Do you want me to finish up? Like, you guys look really tired. And they were like, no, stay. But like, literally, I was having a conversation with a guy that was like this. Oh yeah? And what happened then? And he kept going, like he kept dozing off to sleep. Like, that's how fucked it was. And I kept asking, like, do you guys want me to go? Like, I was trying to be polite, but really I just wanted to go because they were falling asleep. It was just embarrassing for me and them at this stage. So yeah, it was just not a vibe, but the guys were really nice. I would work for them again, but maybe just not that late. So I'm going to do a money count from the first booking that I went to where I did the poker dealing. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but the poker host was freaking amazing. Not what I expected him to be. I misjudged him, and maybe he's just gotten over that hurdle where he realized maybe he was in the wrong at that other booking where he undercharged and quoted the wrong amount. So yeah, I actually ended up getting along with him really well, and he was great, and I actually look forward to working with him again in future. I actually really do. It's just lovely. I wish I could have stayed longer. So for the booking that I did from 7 till 10 p.m, topless poker dealing, and I did have to end up staying back a little bit because I was 15 to 20 minutes late. Plus I did upgrade to nude, and I did 3 lap dances. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 550, 560. Wait, I fucked that up already. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What? 2, 3. So $850 for 3 hours. And then I made $200 straight afterwards at the other booking from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. And then tonight, you guys would have seen me rushing in at the last minute to go to my booking. I was stressing so hard just now thinking I lost $100 tonight, but I added in $100 in cash in here when I shouldn't have, because one of those lap dances I paid for on my Square Tap and Go. Oh my god, I was stressing so hard then. I was just thinking like, no, I 100% remember him giving me the extra $100. Like, what the hell? And I'm just like, how did I lose $100? I literally was just going through my mind over and over and over. Oh my god, that stressed me out so hard. I still made $850 at that first booking last night, but one of the $100 towards a dance wasn't paid in cash. I had charged him on my Square Tap and Go because he was leaving really quickly. His wife had organized an Uber and I was like, hey, do you want to quickly just tap this before you go for the lap dance, la la la? And he was like, yep, no problem. I accidentally just counted the cash in from another booking and I was like, and then I thought I was down 100 from tonight and I was like, how did I lose $100? Like, I know where I hide. Like, every stripper or topless waitress has their little spot in their bag or wherever they need to hide their stuff, and it wasn't there and I was freaking out. So $200 from the last booking. Tonight I got a 3-hour booking at the Star Casino. My beautiful girlfriend that I haven't seen in a long time was also working the booking, so she decided to wait for me downstairs for the client. And yeah, we went and got upstairs. We had a little bit of a catch up in the bathroom, which was really nice. I feel like I haven't seen her in such a long time, but in a good way. She's been growing as a person and doing studying, like her new passion, which is really great. So yeah, it was really nice to see her and just catch up with her on what's going on in each other's lives. Not seeing a friend for a really long time doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It can be a really good thing, which is great. But yeah, I did miss hanging out with her. It's been a long time. So me and her got there and this young guy comes up to us and goes, did you see my dad before? Would you hook up with him? La la la. And we just thought it was just some random dude. We're like, what's going on? And he was just like, don't you reckon he's hot? Like, and we're just like, oh yeah, you know, like we're just like awkwardly like, what the f, like, what does this guy want? And then so he walks off and we're like, oh my god. I'm like, did you call the client? She was like, yeah, I called him on a private number. He's coming down. And I'm like, yeah, sweet. So we're just still talking there, catching up. And this same guy comes back to us and we're like, oh my god, like, what does this guy want? And it turns out that he's the client. We're like, did we just call you off a private number? And he was just like, yeah, that was me. And we're like, why didn't you say who you were? Like, it was so random. Like, he came up as if he was just like some random dude in the casino just hitting on us and was like, hey, do you want to hook up with my dad? Like, and we're just like, no. Like, imagine if we were being rude to him and he was the actual client. Like, we're like, why didn't you say who you were? And he's like, I don't know, it's just being silly, I didn't think anything of it. And we're like, oh, okay, but don't you want to come get us, like, to take us up to the room? And he was like, yeah, but he was like, he needed to come down and go to the ATM anyway. And I'm like, oh, okay. And we're just looking at each other like, this is so awkward. We finally get up to the room and the guy goes, yep, sweet, what else do you do? And we're like, lap dances, motorboats, upgrade to nude. And he's like, sweet. So he's like, well, if we come to that, we'll get to it and we'll pay you girls. And we're like, awesome. So he pays us the money. We get to the room and it turns out it's a surprise Christmas party for these guys. They're all tradies, they work together. 2 were apprentices. And yeah, they were like, it was really awkward and quiet when we first walked in, but I was like, we're gonna go get change. You guys are gonna get the music pumping. We're gonna pull that side table out. We're gonna play beer pong. It's gonna be a great time. And the guys were like, yeah, and it was great. So we got ready in the bathroom, came out, the guys were like, awesome, like they were loving it. So I felt like my mood just boosted so much better because I was feeling really self-conscious about, I don't know, I just felt really bloated today and I was like, oh, not feeling it. But as soon as we walked out, the guys were like, holy, you two look stunning. So I was just like, yes, they love it. So they paid us, and then halfway through we were playing beer pong and me and the other girl were like, how do you guys feel about us getting naked? And they were like, yeah. And we're like, well, it's this much each. And they were just like, let's do it. So she got naked first. I was still trying to organize money with one of the other guys, and then he finally gave us some money. I actually ended up getting more money out of the apprentice than the guy organizing it. So just goes to show, don't judge by status of your job title. You just never know. Even actually, this was the case at one of the other bookings the other day that I did, that one in Coffs Harbour. Some of the guys that were the younger guys were tipping more than the older guys because they were casuals. They were on like holiday rate. So they were earning like 50 bucks an hour or something ridiculous. And they were just like, yeah, we've got more money than the old blokes here. And we're like, so yeah, it just goes to show, don't judge a book by its cover. You just never know who's going to tip. So yeah, it was actually the apprentice that paid for me to go nude. And then we went back to playing beer pong, and it felt like it was a little bit more like spicier. The guys were loving it. They were like getting really like, come dance with me, and they were like wanted to dance up like against us sort of thing, which was probably a bit much. Like they were getting really handsy, but like no slapping or like booby touching or anything like that. Like there was no inappropriate parts touched, but just they were wanting to like dance a lot, like really like grind dance. And I was like, okay. And then we started to like back off a bit, play more beer pong. The clock started winding around to the next hour, and I was like, okay. So I asked one of the guys, I was like, how do you guys feel about us getting naked for the next hour? And they were just like, you have to ask him. So I asked the organizer, and I was like, hey, how do you guys feel about getting us naked for the next hour? And he's like, you guys can do what you want. And I was just like, no, well, it's up to you guys. Like, you guys are paying for it. And he was like, oh, you guys, I'm easy. You guys just do whatever you want. If you want to get naked, get naked. I'm like, okay, but we need to know if you're gonna pay for it. And he was just like, oh yeah, like whatever you want. And I'm like, cool. So it's like, it's this much each. And he's like, yeah, like whatever you guys want to do. And I'm just like, oh, are we doing this dance, are we? We're going around in circles. We're doing this dance where he's just not gonna talk about whether he's got money left or not, you know? And he just kept saying, whatever you want to do. And I'm like, fucking give me your money, that's what I want you to do. But you know, you can't say that. So I was just like, okay, well, I was like, we're gonna put our panties back on. So when we did, all of a sudden we hear this knock on the door, and we're like, oh, who the is that? Is that your other friend? He was like, no. And we're like, oh fuck, it's hotel security. So me and the other girl hid on the bed behind the like a wall, like a dead space wall. I don't know what you call it. Yeah, it was like a barricade. So he couldn't see us from the doorway. And we were like, oh my God, like we're hiding here. He won't be able to see us. But we soon, we found out pretty quickly that he could actually see us in the reflection of the window. And he knew that there was more people in the room that were supposed to be in the room. So we actually ended up getting kicked out of the room. We went and got changed before, of course. But yeah, the security were actually waiting outside of the room for all of us to leave. They basically just said, anyone that hasn't booked this room or doesn't have their name on the booking needs to leave. If you don't leave, we can enforce it, all that yada yada yada. So we just said, the guys, like, we're gonna get changed, we're gonna go. And they're like, no, we're gonna go to the casino. We're gonna go down to the casino. And we're like, look, we've only got half an hour to go. Like, let's just call it a night. And they were just like, no. And we're like, oh my God. So we got changed, and then we went downstairs with the guys. We're all dressed up. Like, I'm wearing like a nice long black maxi. The other girl's wearing like a stunning blue dress. She's in heels, and everyone's looking at us because, like, you know, like it was just a highly unlikely situation. These two girls in really high heels with these older gentlemen, and then super young dudes like in a group, and we're all linking arms and stuff going down to gamble. And I said to the guys, so what do you want to gamble on? And they're like, oh, like whatever you guys want to gamble on, we'll just watch. And I'm like, we're not gonna spend our own money like gambling. Like, we were gonna come down here and watch you guys gamble, and like maybe spend some of your money gambling. We're not gonna spend our own money. So me and her were like, okay, well, like before we go in, we're gonna go to the bathroom, we'll meet you in there. And the other guys were like, yeah. And then so the older guys all went in to the gambling area, and then some of them went to the bar. But the two young guys, the apprentices, were like, yeah, we'll wait for you. And I'm like, don't wait by the toilets, that's just weird. And they were like, okay, yep, cool. But then we went in the toilet, and they were still right there. And three girls in the line were like, isn't that so creepy? There's like three guys just sitting there. Like, why are they right there? They're like practically in the ladies' toilets. And we're like, yeah, it's pretty creepy, isn't it? Like, and me and her were looking at each other going, that's our clients. But you know, we still had 15 minutes to go. So we're just like, oh, what can we do? Can we just like, how can we make this drag out? So we just took the longest toilet break known to man, made friends with every single woman in there. I actually got to know this one girl really well. We're talking about eyelash extensions for like a good 10 minutes. And her makeup was phenomenal. Like, the cut crease was just to perfection. So yeah, we were having a phenomenal time in the toilet, and by the time we came out, we like slowly peeked around the corner. The guys had gone. So we just messaged the girl who did our booking, the agency. We're like, hey, like we finished up. The guys are going gambling. We're gonna finish up. We're going. Like it was dead on time when we're finishing. It's just like it becomes blurry when it's like we're in between topless waitressing and companionship, you know what I mean? Like it's not really our job description to go out with the guys. Like that's more of a companion level status. Like it's not full service, but it's not waitressing either. And normally with companionship status stuff, it's more, they normally charge a little bit more for that, but the guys weren't willing to pay any more for us, and they wanted us to spend our own money on the gambling machine. So we were just like, no, like what is even the point of us being here? Like you guys might as well just go out. One of the apprentice guys was like, what are we doing? Like what's happening? Because I've got some girl on Tinder, like I want to go meet up with her. And he was like 21. Like I'm like, it's 15 minutes, just go have fun. Like we're just gonna pack up and go. Like it was a sign. The security guard came, he kicked us out, it's over. So yeah, we ended up just doing that. We didn't end up finding the other guys on the way out. We walked back the same way that we came in, but couldn't spot them. So we just messaged the agent. We just said, hey, this is what happened. And she was like, yep, sweet. So for the 3 hours, pretty much nearly the whole 3 hours that we ended up doing topless waitressing and we upgraded to nude, we ended up making 100, 200, 300, 450, and I got 20 bucks off the other girl because I just dropped her home. So not bad. $470. I'm gonna count the 20 bucks. $470 for a quiet little one. The guys were actually really nice. Like they were really lovely. It was just a bit odd that the way they worded things. Like I'm like, just say that you've run out of money. Like I don't really give. Like we get bookings all the time where the guys tell us like, look, we've exhausted all our funds, or we've run, you know, that was our budget, we're done. And I'm like, I appreciate you being more like blunt about it and like being more honest than beating around the bush about it and going, oh, well, you do what you want to do. Like I'm not going to get naked for free. So I'm not going to just do what I want to do. Like I want to do what I want to do and get paid for it, you know? Like that's why we're here. This is our job. So I much appreciate like the honesty rather than beating around the bush. And also it felt really weird about going to the casino with them. Like they made a big deal about us like dragging us all through the casino, like parading us around with them and then telling us, oh yeah, we're going to go gambling. Oh yeah, we're going to be doing this and that. Like they made out like we're going to the blackjack tables like to spend money, and then we're there like lining up at the blackjack tables only for the guys to turn around and say, oh yeah, no, you guys go gamble, we'll just watch yous. And I'm like, what? Like we didn't come all the way down here for us to spend our own money. It was super weird. Anyway, I'm finished for the night, so I just wanted to do a total. I did try and see if I could get other work, but it's, you know, it's super late in the evening. I actually saved it in this Ruby app that I'm subscribed to now. It was created by another industry girl, and it's made for different types of sex workers, actually, not just topless waitresses. And you can track your income. You can put jobs in your calendar. It's like got like a Google calendar as well, and it's got an invoice section. You can invoice people and track those, and you can put your expenses in there as well. But I've been using it as a income tracker, which has also been handy with these videos because I have it written down somewhere. But so what have I got here? So Thursday I made $1,235. Friday I made $850 plus 200, and then just tonight I ended up making, I'm gonna claim the $20, $470. So total I ended up making $2,755 for the week. Actually really appreciate that Coffs Harbour booking, because even though, like I was saying, it varies between days and different booking locations, I do feel like that set me up for the win for the weekend, and I felt a little bit more relaxed going into the Friday and Saturday, like less pressure trying to earn money. I ended up really enjoying this week's work. It was so much fun. It's good to be vlogging again, and yeah, just dragging you guys along with me. I feel like I didn't really get to vlog just now very much because the guys were kind of watching us a lot and the room was very small, so I didn't get to film anything. But I do hope that I vlogged enough footage for the whole weekend that you guys enjoyed it and feel like you're there with me, coming along with me to work. But yeah, thank you once again so much for coming along with me to work, and I hope that you guys are enjoying these types of vlogs. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you have any questions, or if you want to see more of these vlogs, let me know. It makes me happy to see that you guys are interested in this sort of stuff. It lets me know like that's the type of stuff that you guys want to see. If you want me to film some more vlogs, if you want me to do more content stuff for OnlyFans, behind the scenes, just let me know. And yeah, thanks so much for coming along with me, and I'll catch you guys all in my next vlog.